Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Excellent Wrestling Fan. I'm coming to you live from my girlfriend's basement bathroom, to be specific. I wanted to review Evolve 131. It's also known as Evolve's 10th anniversary celebration. It was on the WWE Network. It was the first show from Evolve to be on the WWE Network, the first independent show to be on the network. It was last night, July 13th, 2019, at the 2300 Arena, or the ECW Arena, the Arena, whatever you want to call it, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It featured wrestlers from NXT and 205 Live. Uh, so just a bit of background. Evolve was started by Gabe Sapolsky and Davey Richards. Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson, whatever you want to call him, was the one that came up with the name Evolve. And one of the things in the early stages of Evolve was the emphasis on a win-loss record. And it was kind of basically the American independent version of something like UWFI or Rings, just very oriented on grappling. Of course, they ended up getting away from that. They had a partnership with Dragon Gate USA. Now, Evolve actually hasn't been around for 10 years. It's been close, but Dragon Gate USA was actually the company that started 10 years ago, but they kind of merged everything into Dragon Gate USA and Evolve. There wasn't really much point in keeping Dragon Gate USA around when a lot of Dragon Gate talent weren't really showing up to shows. Guys in Dragon Gate USA weren't really getting brought over to Dragon Gate for tours in Japan, so it made more sense to stick with the Evolve brand, but here we are. So without further ado, let's talk about the 9 matches that were on the show. I won't talk about them very long because I want to keep this video pretty short because I am tired. Shout outs to my new dog, Max, Mad Maxine. You may have seen her on our Extreme Rules video on our Twitter page, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. I'm adopting a dog. I'm becoming a real adult, and I'm sure you can tell that I'm super tired because we've had 3 dogs in the house, and I've been up since probably 6 or 7 this morning. The opening of the show was Josh Briggs and Anthony Green. Anthony Green, the last time I saw him was at a show in Livonia, and I'm pretty sure he was a babyface. Of course, I could have missed it. Most times when I go to Evolve shows in Livonia, I usually end up getting hammered on $3 Jack and Cokes, or whiskey and Cokes, excuse me. So I end up just chit-chatting and not really paying attention to the show. Retro Anthony Green. Wasn't Anthony Green the singer of Circus Survive? I'm pretty sure he was. Anyway, Josh Briggs beat Anthony Green with a choke slam variation. I can't exactly remember. I usually am pretty good with moves, but I just was trying to hurry through and get through some of the first couple of matches because I didn't really have a proper context for everything, so I didn't really understand what was happening. There was a weird brawl at the beginning of the show. Harlem Bravado kicked the guy in the ribs. I didn't know who the guy was. That one of the big criticisms that I have for this show is the lack of context for first-time viewers. Unless you follow Evolve religiously, you're probably not going to understand some of the implications for some of the matches. Like Stephen Wolf was the guy's name that was kicked by Harlem Bravado. Also thought his name was going to be Steppenwolf, like the bad guy from the Justice League movie. But he ended up winning a Fatal 4-Way with Kurt Stallion, who is basically Matt Riddle's young boy. I was going to comment how he looked kind of like Von Erich, and lo and behold, he's from Texas. So shout outs to his finishing move, the O to Luigi, which is a running headbutt, which is pretty cool. Sean Maluda, who's a member of the what's the name? The Unwanted. It's a stable with Joe Gacy, Sean Maluda, Eddie Kingston, and Colby Carino. Harlem Bravado also in the Fatal 4-Way match. Arturo Ruas, named after the King of Streets, Marco Ruas, former UFC fighter, defeated Anthony Henry in a grudge match. I was actually kind of shocked that Anthony Henry lost. You know, he's a former FIP champ. He's been getting a big push in Evolve, and the fact that Arturo Ruas just kind of knocked him out with a kick and beat him is pretty shocking. I guess that someone in Evolve is high on Arturo Ruas. Maybe it's because he's a NXT guy. I'm not sure. But yeah, I was shocked that Anthony Henry ended up taking the L on that one. Brandy Lauren versus Shotzi Blackheart. I feel like a real jerk for saying this, but I didn't even know that Evolve was having more women's wrestling. Usually they're just kind of pre-show matches or matches to kind of get the crowd warm back up after intermission. But part of the storyline was that Shotzi Blackheart felt Brandy Lauren wasn't allowing other women to be involved. But again, I've never really seen these ladies wrestle. I didn't know the backstory. The video package just had them fighting, but I didn't know why they were fighting. There wasn't a lot of explanation as to what their rivalry was besides Lenny Leonard just kind of telling you on commentary. And I wish they would have had a more intricate video package, even if it was like 90 seconds long, just to give, again, first-time viewers who might have had their interest piqued during that commercial on Raw, people might have a better understanding what's going on. Babatunde, another NXT guy, beat Colby Carino in about 3 minutes. Nothing much happening to this. AR Fox and Leon Ruff defeated Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy, to win the Evolve Tag Team Championships. It's a 5-minute match, but it was really fun. It's very fast-paced. It's a big brawl. Matt Riddle with Kurt Stallion defeated Drew Gulak. It was called the Catch Point Reunion match, but they didn't get anybody else that was in Catch Point to come out to the ring. But then I realized pretty much everybody in Catch Point are in other promotions or don't really wrestle for Evolve anymore. You know, TJP's in Impact. Fred Yehi, I think, is in ROH. Tracy Williams in ROH. The only guy that's in Catch Point or was in Catch Point would be Stokely Hathaway. But this is an awesome match. This is probably, for me, the best match on the show. Maybe second best after the JD Drake Austin Theory match, but nonetheless, very fun match. Matt Riddle won with that tombstone pile driver that he does called the Bro Derek, which I'm shocked that they, one, let him do a tombstone pile driver as a finish, and two, that they gave it that name. But of course, they love giving Riddle bro puns for his finishing move, so shout outs to that match. Drew Gulak cut a really solid babyface promo after that. Of course, he'll be a sadistic heel later on today when he wrestles Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. Austin Theory versus JD Drake. This is the only match that really got a full-fledged video package to set up what was happening in the match. Actually, strike that. The tag team titles match had a video package to kind of give you context as to what this match was all about. This is a really solid match. Austin Theory won, of course. Shocker. Austin Theory looks like he was created in a lab by Triple H and Vince McMahon to be the NXT champion for years and years to come. The dude is tall. The dude is jacked. He's an okay talker, and he's still really young. He's 21 years old, which blows my mind. His kid was born in 1997 or 8, so he threw down the WWN championship at the end of the match, so I don't know what that is going to signify. I don't know if they're just completely doing away with the WWN championship, if Evolve is kind of going to become almost NXT's NXT, and if you win the Evolve championship, then maybe you'll kind of move on to NXT. Not exactly sure. Adam Cole defeated Akira Tozawa, singles match for the NXT championship. Okay match. You know, I wasn't expecting much. I was shocked though that this match was the main event over the winner takes all match for the WWN championship and Evolve championship. It's kind of weird that this is supposed to be the 10th anniversary show and a celebration of Evolve, and they just decided to have a main event of a guy who was really barely in Dragon Gate USA, and I don't really remember Adam Cole being involved at all. Akira Tozawa, of course, was a Dragon Gate mainstay in Japan, and then he teamed quite a bit with Jon Moxley in Dragon Gate USA, so that connection is very clear, but it was an okay match. Johnny Gargano showed up because he's pretty much Mr. WWN. If you go on the WWN Live YouTube channel, there's probably 47 videos about Johnny Gargano on there. Adam Cole won with the Canadian Destroyer into the Shining Wizard to the back of the head. Like I said, solid match. Johnny Gargano cut like a babyface promo there at the end. I didn't really pay attention to it because it's, again, following the WWN Live YouTube channel. He's cut so many of those promos at the end of Evolve shows. They all kind of just run together. But all in all, an okay offering from Evolve for their 10th anniversary show. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. It wasn't a real blowaway show like some people may have hoped for, but it wasn't terrible. It it probably will be more entertaining than Extreme Rules. So anyway, thanks for listening to this review of the Evolve 10th anniversary show, or Evolve 131. Hopefully we can keep putting more video stuff up on YouTube, even though this is probably just going to be me talking over static images. Anyway, thank you for watching/listening, and tuck your chin.